What is up, YouTube? This is an update video on my homemade motorized dirt bike slash mini bike, whatever you want to call it. There's three reasons why I'm making this video. One is the frame is busted. Two, the brakes suck. Three, I'm gonna put a bunch of lights on this thing. So, reason one is, if you look right here, this tube used to be perfectly straight, and me and my friends were riding this thing. Next thing we know, oh, this thing feels shorter. I wonder why. That thing buckled right there. You can see it. That was taking all the weight of this whole seat thing, and so it buckled. I gotta fix it. Originally, I thought I have to replace the entire tube. I don't want to do that. So what I'm gonna try to do is just cut these off, cut out the part that's buckled, bend it back, and then cut out, because I have like a 2-inch, like 3 or 4-inch section of this tube. Cut that tube out to match the thing I cut out right here, weld it in, and then take steel plate and make a giant supporting bracket to fit right here, and then drill a hole so I can fit that on. So I'm gonna strengthen up this whole area, because this is a really big design flaw and I didn't know that, and so I gotta fix that. Next thing is the brakes. The brakes suck. You have to slam on them so hard for you to slow down. So the reason is, they're these kind of brakes. I'm gonna replace them with the kind of brakes that have the pivot point here and here. The brake pads are right here, and then they close like that. I have no idea what kind of brakes those are called. And because these ones suck, you know, they don't have that much leverage on them. So these suck. I'm gonna replace them. There's one there, and then there's one there. So I gotta replace those. It's gonna be fun. And then I'm going to put a headlight on this thing. And then recently I went to Walmart and bought a bunch of these things. Not all of these are for the dirt bike, mini bike slash whatever. The blue ones, which there's blue, there's red. The red ones are gonna be for the chopper. There's another blue, and the blue ones, there's another blue. Where's a button? That's a red. That's a white. It's another white. The white ones are gonna be for the scooter, and the blue ones are gonna be for the dirt bike slash mini bike, whatever you want to call it. And then the red ones are gonna be for the chopper. So I'm going to put all these things on my bikes. Eventually, all of them are gonna be lit up. But so the chopper and the scooter is a different video, so that'll be fun. This thing will be awesome riding at night, because me and my friends ride these things often at night, and it sucks holding flashlights and we can't even see. So I'm gonna make these things really visible to people in cars. So first things first, I gotta fix that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strip the paint off of that little section and then cut it out and then re-weld in another one. So let's get started. Okay, so I just cut this one out. This was the old one. As you can see how bent it was. That whole thing just buckled. This is the new one. And it goes on just like, it's hard to do with one hand. Goes on just like that. Just like that. It needs a little bit of tweaking once I get it in here and tack it in and then weld it in. Again, this does not have to be perfect. What I'm gonna do is, once I weld this on, then I'm gonna take a whole piece of steel and like cut it to weld it onto here and to here, and then so it's gonna be strengthening all that. So this really doesn't have to be perfect, which is good, because it's not. So I just gotta grind a little more paint off so it doesn't stink up and give me another headache. like it always does, and weld this thing on. Okay, so I just finished welding on the new bracket. That's what it looks like. I'm gonna take a buffer wheel or a sanding grinding wheel and sand all this down, make it less rough. But yeah, it actually turned out a lot better than I expected it to look. Once I paint it, hopefully it'll be look just like new. So now I just cut the new brackets. That's what they look like. So they come down right here, and then not too much, just like that. Think that's big enough? I think so. And it's all really tight. Hopefully it's gonna be the same kind of spring tension as before. So now I'm just gonna grind all the paint off right there and there, then weld it on. Okay, I just finished welding that on. Pretty nice weld, if I do say so myself. Hopefully this is strong enough to hold this whole thing now. Hopefully it's not gonna buckle again. I highly doubt it will, but you know, I don't know. Hopefully it won't. So now moving on to the brakes. So that is done. All it needs to do is just be painted. Moving on to the brakes. These were originally what was used for the front brakes. These are the ones that suck because they do that. And you know, if you've ever dealt with bicycles, you know that these suck. So I replaced it with these. These are the ones that use this thing, and it moves back and forth just like that. So that, therefore, it has a lot more, you know, pull to it when you pull it like that. So that's on. So now all I need to do is take the one off of that and put one of those on this. And then the brakes are done. Now I can move on to the lights. So yeah, this thing's coming along fast. So I welded these on. What I basically did was I just took and cut off the metal piece of the bike, and then just welded it to the frame on both sides. So it works. It works really well, actually. Hopefully it's going to slow me down a lot. Right now it's working really nicely. I'm barely even touching it, so it'll work. So yeah, now this thing's ready to paint. So it's kind of late right now. It's like, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night, but who cares? I'm gonna drag this thing out in the freezing cold and start painting it. So let's do it. Okay, I just finished spray painting the everything. So I wanted to spray paint this thing in the daytime so I could let it dry outside, but it's late, I'm working a lot, so I only had time to do it at night. So yeah, I decided to paint the front forks blue because at first I had them black, and I'm not really sure why I did that. I must have forgotten to paint them blue because, I don't know, they look more cool blue. So I made them blue. Anyway, and I also had to repaint the front handlebars. So I wanted to make this whole video one-parter, but it's looking to be a lot longer than I wanted it to be, so I think it's going to have to be a two-parter video. So this is the first part. Second part is all going to be about putting the lights on this thing. That's going to be the fun part. So look for part 2. Thank you for watching, subscribe, and have a nice day.